Why, hello there, YouTube. It is I, Ghostrick, and I've returned, finally, from my hibernation time of the Christmas holidays, where I just had no money to produce any sort of videos at all because my next video was supposed to need recording software. But I finally got some together, and today I have a special DevPro replay of my Ghostricks versus Telenites. And I chose this video for a couple of reasons. Telenites have a really strong comeback game, with their one card summoning 3 monsters into Travail to bounce the field, or they have destruction cards. They're a very good rank 4 engine, so they have access to X-Ton Knight, Arc, all this other good stuff. That when you can test against a deck like that, it shows off pretty strongly what a deck can do. So today I'm going to go through this replay. While it's going, I'm going to be pausing, stopping, starting, talking about the moves that I do and why I do them. Now, whether or not this guy had the mainstream Telenite best competitive deck, I don't think so, but it was pretty strong, it was a long game, and it was a really good one. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, here we are for our first DevPro replay. Our first starting out hand actually looks really good with a doll, a field spell, and a good trap. Our opponent is our Telenite player who's got double Vega opening in an Altair, which will actually end up working out for him. He's up first, and the beginning of the game is actually kind of slow rolling, so I'm going to just kind of let it play. I get a terraforming and can get a parade, which is always nice to start off with. And as you'll see, he tries to explode, so I drop the needle ceiling and he drops a lance. Good play by him. His best play I could have done. He ends up Rengekiing my field. Kind of a waste, but I drop a Spectre and draw a card. Always nice, then draw. I go into Dull Hand so that I can go into Spoiled Angel. And now here I'm actually planning on attacking the Altair. Even though I can't get damage, I can still kill the Altair with Parade on the field, but he's gonna actually stop my play. I used Dull Hand to get the doll back, which was nice. And then I just since I'd used my normal summon already, I just Swords of Conceal and Lighted. Stopped as much damage as possible. With this, I'm just kind of setting up for next turn. This is why I like this card. It slows the game down a lot. You can't really do much either, decides not to attack. With this situation, I don't really have much choice other than just flip Dull and end phase. I mean, I could throw the Spectre out there to try to get a level 3, but this is kind of a judgment call at the time. Now here's where decisions start coming in. He's going for the Altair's effect, so I scare in the middle of it to try to limit the number of monsters he's going to have. I also forgot at the time that he had normal summoned, so he's going to play this smart with the Deneb coming out. He's going to get a Vega and then normal summon twice and still get the Trivier, which in reality is fine. He ends up only ditching my Witch anyway, and I put a Lantern back on the board. Now, important to note, Dull's effect doesn't require to be on the field once it's triggered, so that's where this Mary came from. And now I have another Spoiled Angel play already sitting on the field for me, which is extremely nice. So I'm going to start off with that, I believe. Yes, I am. I put it in defense mode because I don't feel like I can do anything about that at the moment. There's no point in me playing the mansion to play the parade later on. I didn't think I was going for damage this game, so I just put her in defense mode. And after the last time, there was a Battle Guard howling. Kind of ended up biting me in the ass. I put a Dull Hand back there. I know you couldn't see, but since I had 2 level 1s in hand, I figured it was the best idea. He's going for his Now, here's an interesting note. I do have the Ghostrick vanish on the field, but it didn't let me respond to his summon. And this says send to the graveyard. And since it had already targeted, I can't stop it from being targeted. So it's going to just send this to graveyard, and there's no point in me activating the Ghostrick out at this point. But I do take damage, so I let the Mary summon the Janchi from the field. Now he soul charges for another huge play, gets more damage on me. Vega special summons a monster, ditches a card, makes this card, which now is targeting and destroying, so I activate the Vanish now, showing him the Spectre in my hand. Which ends up helping out a lot, because now I get a skeleton. This is where I try to start milling him, but I'm starting to realize the life points are slowly going down, which is not a good idea. I added a Mary because I've got a feeling he's going to throw the Sham back out. Alucard to pop the Black Ship of Corn, because that actually seemed like the most dangerous since it didn't target, and I have the Ghostrick Vanish in hand. So I can protect from this one, but I couldn't protect from that one. And now here I normal summon the Spectre, because I don't think he's going to destroy my field since I have the Ghostrick out, or Vanish. Just so that I can get another skeleton on board. Which, well, I then use all this stuff to draw with the Spoiled Angel, and set all my cards, and I set up for his turn. On his turn, he actually targets the Vanish, and I'm like, okay, perfect, I'll just activate it. He ends up ditching a Mary from my hand, which is fine because I still have the Spectre. Now, he attacks with this, and at this point I realize the life points, and realize I have to get a Lantern, otherwise the Deltros is going to kill me. So I grab the Lantern and take the first hit, and then he kind of walks into the Lantern for the second one, and I get a card that I need, which is another Vanish, because I think I was out of scares at this point. And then I ripped something important. I ripped the Swords of Concealing Light. And at this point I'm starting to realize I'm at 1900 life points. I've got to be, but I do have board control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start flipping up all the monsters. Flip Skeleton to banish 5 to put more pressure on him. He actually Solemn Warnings the Dullahan, which makes me feel better because I know this card hasn't been doing anything for a while. And he pays 2,000 life points for it, and I'm still going to get a card back with Dullahan. And then I get to set my Spectre off. Then at this point I realize I've got Swords of Concealing Light, and I added a house because I didn't have many other spell and trap cards. Most of them were in my graveyard. He's got the one card on the field. I've got this up. He's at 4,000 life points. And I realize I have 3,500 on board for damage. So I'm actually going to swap out my Parade for my Mansion and start throwing aggression on. And here after my skeleton attacks is where my replay corrupts. But if you just take a look at the field, he doesn't actually have anything to activate. And we swing through for 3,500 worth of damage. Dull's going to set everything. And I'm going to get to set any monster I want from my deck. Probably Janchi. Yeah, Janchi makes sense because then next turn I can flip everything back up, get a search off Janchi for whatever I need. Make Alucard, pop back row. Probably this one, leaving this one if it's not already there. If there's other back row, I'd go for that first, just because I know this one didn't do anything. And then if you look at like all the trap cards I have in my hand, I have Vanish, which actually is useless because I don't have a Ghostrick in hand. But I had 2 go-rounds and 2 scares to interrupt his play completely. He's gone through his Rengeki. His 2 boss monsters are face down on the field and can't do anything. And I've effectively locked him out of this game and winning with damage. So that's how you can control an opponent, especially one that's as comebacky. Comebacky. One that can come back as well as Tellarknights can. They're a strong deck, and they're extremely resilient with a lot of their plays. But if you can control them well enough, which, as I just showed you, you can win. And I was even starting to banish and mill them out from another end of the deck. So that was my take, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you can only make one card, make an Alucard, because Alucard wins games. As we can say from the next turn, he would have won the game. Thank you for watching, and enjoy.